Okay, so hey guys, so I haven't done this type of video in a while, and today I really wanted to do a palette review for you guys, and I decided to do it on the Urban Decay Alice Through the Looking Glass palette for the Disney Through the Looking Glass movie. Urban Decay and Disney did collaborate on this gorgeous freaking palette. I love the packaging. It's awesome. So let's first start with the outer packaging. I did just go see the movie today. This is the first time I've used the palette, and I did also use it with my Mad Hatter shirt because I did go buy it a couple of days ago for the movie. This shirt is super comfortable, and I just really wanted something with the Hatter on it so I could kind of do a Hatter themed makeup look. So I'm going to go through every single color and swatch every single color for you. So first, let's talk about the packaging. So look at this outer packaging. It's such a cool, like, kaleidoscope looking themed palette, and then it says Alice Through the Looking Glass on the front, and then on the back it has all of the color names and what they look like. I did just also get my nails done as well when we were at the mall, because there's a nail salon in that mall as well. So let me just go up a little bit more. So let's crack into this baby and show you what it actually looks like. So it just pops out like this, and then we will reveal what the packaging looks like. So the packaging of the actual palette looks the same as, why does this keep on coming out of here? This is really annoying me already. Okay, so this is what the packaging looks like. It's gonna like slide out. I don't know why it really shouldn't be doing that. Same packaging though, and then it pops open and you have a front of it, and it looks like this, and it has a bunch of quotes from the movie and from the book. The top here says, I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours. And then it comes with this huge mirror, and it says, we're all mad here, which I love because that's basically like my favorite line. And then when you open this, it reveals this beautiful 3D butterfly that looks like this. Look at that packaging. That's so beautiful. I love that. And Urban Decay is like kind of famous for doing like butterflies on their packaging. So that's the top of the palette, and then on the bottom here is where the actual palette is. But first, it has a quote on it as well, and it says, I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I must have changed several times since then. Sorry, it's like in script, and I'm like so terrible at reading script now. And if you're wondering what's on my nail, the nail salon lady didn't cut me, but she did push my cuticles back a little bit more, and my cuticles are so sensitive that like they start bleeding sometimes, so it's just like a stain from that. So there's a little tab here that you pull. There's also this tab here that makes it easier, I guess, to travel with and stuff. I'm not really sure what that's for, honestly. But then you pull it out like this, and it reveals what the palette looks like, and this is what it looks like. Look at those colors. So you get 20 shadows in this palette. I think it's such an awesome deal. I love when companies do these kind of limited edition palettes because they really are a great value. And this is so cool. I think this is so awesome that you can just take it out like this rather than working like a huge kind of packaging deal, because if I couldn't take it out, honestly, it would be so annoying. So the first thing that you get is a makeup brush, and it comes with a dual-sided makeup brush. This is such a pretty brush because I love the design on it. It has like the floral design, and then it comes with like a blending kind of side, and then it also comes with like more of like a lid type brush. I actually really like these Urban Decay brushes, so I probably am going to use it because those brushes are really awesome. So let's go through each row and tell you what is in the actual palette. I know that there's certain rows for certain characters in the movie. So the first row that we have here is called the Alice row. Obviously, that's going to be the first row. So we have Looking Glass, Reflection, Dorm House, and Metamorphosis. I can't talk today. Then the second section here, obviously, is the Mad Hatter section. You see that green color right there. Obviously, that means Hatter. So we have Hatter, Gone Mad, Paradox, and Cake. Then the third row, I believe, is the Good Queens row, and this is Mirana's row. And the first shade we have is called Lily, Duchess, Kingdom, and Chessboard. Then the fourth row is for, I believe, the Evil Queen, right? Is this the Evil Queen or is this the Evil Queen? This is the Evil Queen. Yeah. I don't know why they would put chessboard with the Good Queen. I thought the chessboard was for the Evil. No, that's not for the Evil Queen. Never mind. So this is for the Evil Queen, well, the Queen of Hearts, and this is Erasbeth. Erasbeth's row. So the first one is called Heads Will Roll, that beautiful turquoise. Then we have Bandersnatch, Salazan Grum, and Royal Flush. And then the last row we have is the Time row, and that is like the Lord of Time in the movie. And we have Time, Dream On, Chromosphere, and Mirror. So I'm going to go through each and every single shade in this palette and swatch it for you. I am also going to go through what's on my eyes. So we're going to start with the Alice row first, and we're going to start with this first shade right here. So this first shade is called Looking Glass, and they all swatch really beautifully and really buttery. So we're going to swatch that on my hand, and that's what that first shade looks like. It's very, very pale on my skin tone, but it is really pretty. It has kind of a little bit of like a white iridescence. That's what it looks like. It has like a white iridescence to it. Then the next one we have is called Reflection, and that's a really pretty like light shade, perfect for the brow bone. But again, they weren't as pigmented as I wanted them to be, but this one I used in my crease. It's very light as well. It's kind of a very light brown. Then the next shade we have is called Dorm House, and this one is like a medium tone brown with like little gold reflex in it, so it's not completely matte. And let's see where I can swatch this one. This one was really pretty. I liked this in my crease. I did use it in my crease today. And it blended really nicely, so that one is called Dorm House. And then the last one we have in that row, which looks so beautiful, is called Metamorphosis, and that's what it looks like right there. It's this really gorgeous, like kind of periwinkle blue with like this, with like turquoise glitters in it. It comes off really beautiful. I'm sure this is going to be so gorgeous on the lid. That's kind of like one swipe. It's not as pigmented as I thought it was going to be. Let's see if I get like a little bit more built up. Maybe it'll be prettier. Yeah, that is really pretty. So that is the first row. That is the Alice row. So we swatched all four of these shades here. Now we're going to move on to this row right here. We're going to start with Hatter, obviously. If you guys couldn't already tell, that's what I'm wearing on my lower lash line today. So that is what Hatter looks like. It's this really gorgeous green type of shade, and it has a little bit of like green glitters in it. And that's what it looks like right there. This one's so pretty. It really performed really nicely under my lower lash line. I barely had to really work with it because it basically just applied really great. Then the next one is called Gone Mad, and this one is a deep purple shade with like a little bit of like pinky reflex in it. Not exactly really pink, but like kind of like a lighter purple pink, I guess. And that is what that shade looks like. It's not as purple as I thought it was going to be. It's kind of like a blackish purple. It's pretty. And then the next shade is called Paradox, and this swatches really beautifully. It's this really gorgeous like orangey type of shade with like a little bit of a gold iridescence to it. And that's what it looks like right there. It's very reflective when you swatch it, but that is the color that I used on my lid today, and it didn't really perform like this on my lid. It didn't really like have that reflectiveness. Like that looks like a dual chrome when you actually swatch it. But when I put it on my lid, it didn't come off like that. I had to use Fix Plus with it as well to really build up the pigment, and then it came off really pretty. And then the last shade we have in that row is called Cake, and this looks like a really gorgeous shade as well. It kind of reminds me of Jilted from the Urban Decay Electric palette. So that's what it looks like right there. It's this really pretty like medium purple, like purpley pink shade, like kind of like a magenta. And that's what it looks like right there. It's a really pretty shade. Again, not as reflective as I thought it was going to be, but I think this palette's a little bit hit and miss. But I mostly got it because it's mostly like a collector's item for me. So that was the second row. Now we're going to move on to this third row, and that one is the Marana row, which is like, I love Anne Hathaway in this movie. I think she's so funny in it. So this first shade on the top we have is called Lily, and this is really pretty, kind of like pinky pearly shade, and it has a little bit of like green in it as well. It's very pretty. It kind of has like a dual chrome type of effect. And that's what it looks like right there. As you can see, it has like kind of like that little pinkiness in it, so it like reflects really pretty. I did try and use it on the brow bone. Again, didn't really perform the way I wanted it to. Like, I mixed that with Looking Glass and I liked it, but it wasn't like as like white or pigmented as I wanted it to be. Then the next shade we have is called Duchess, and it's this really pretty, like, how would I describe this shade? This looks totally different. That's what actually is in the pan. Let me swatch this first. It kind of comes off very, that's weird. It doesn't really come off true to color. In the pan, it looks like a kind of goldish yellow color. Right here, this one, Duchess, like a light goldish color. Light brown goldish color, but swatched, it kind of comes off a little bit orangey. That one is right there. It's like orangey with a little bit of pink reflex in it. Again, it's pretty. It's a very unique shade, I think. Then the next shade we have is called Kingdom, and this is really pretty, like typical metalish kind of brown color. Oh, that one's a pretty shade. That's what it looks like right there. This is like basically what reminds me that's in like the Naked palettes. I'm sure that one's going to be really pretty on the lid. See, I kind of feel like I could actually use this to create some neutral looks. That's why I kind of really like it, because I think they kind of thought about not just making it all color. I think this actually works for everyday looks as well. So I thought they were very clever on that part. And then the last shade is called Chessboard, and it's this really gorgeous matte brown shade, cool tone brown shade, which I also really appreciate because this you could use for everyday looks. And that's what it looks like right there. Very pigmented, a really nice matte shade. Alright, so then the next row we have is the Evil Queen, Queen of Hearts row. And this is I can never say it, Erasabeth row. Erasabeth. And we're going to start with that really beautiful turquoise shade called Heads Will Roll. Oh my god, this is so buttery when you dip your finger in. That is so pretty. That's definitely one of my favorite ones. This is beautiful turquoise with like kind of like goldish reflex in it, goldish silvery reflex. And that's what it looks like right there. Look at that shade. So pretty. I'm probably going to swatch the last row down here like across. So pretty. Then the next shade we have is called Bandersnatch, and this is a gorgeous like deep royal blue color, and it's completely matte. Sometimes I find these are really hard colors to get right because most of the ones that I have don't really come off as intense as I want them to be. But that's what it looks like right there. Really pretty color. So far it has really nice pigmentation. Then the next shade we have is called Salazing Rum. I can never say this shade, but I think this one is going to be one of my favorites. Look at that. It's this really gorgeous reddish type of shade. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Ooh, I like that a lot. That is so pretty. It's like a reddish bronzy kind of color. Oh my god, I can't wait to wear that one. And then the last shade we have, I wore on my inner corners today. It was really pretty, and this one is called Royal Flush. Ooh. It's like this really pretty whitish kind of color. Oh my god, that's so pretty. And it's like a pinky kind of taupey color. Look at that. That's so gorgeous. And that is the last row. Again, that one doesn't really come off true to the pan. It comes off a little bit more white when you swatch it, but it's still really, really pretty. And then the last row that we have, if I can fit it here, yeah, I'm just going to go on the bottom, is the Time row. And this is more like full of like silvery kind of colors because that's what the theme of the Time is. So the first shade is called Time, and this looks gorgeous. This is like a really beautiful like bluish type of silvery color. So pretty. And it has like silvery kind of reflex. Oh my God, that's so gorgeous. That is really pretty, and that comes off really pigmented. Wow, that's like one swipe too. That one's really pretty. Then the next one I heard is not as pigmented as people think. It literally comes off glittery. But this one is called Dream On, and it's supposed to be kind of like a transforming type of shade. It's not really supposed to be like true to pigment. That's what Wayne Goss said when I saw his review, but that's what it looks like right there. It's pretty on its own. It's not bad. It's like a silvery type of shade with a little bit of like a grayish purple in there. And then the next shade we have, but it's not very pigmented. It's supposed to be like an overlay type shade. Then the next shade we have is called Chronosphere, and I used this on my outer corner. This looks like a really pretty shade too. It's like a goldish type of like brown metallic color. And that's what it looks like right there. Really, really pretty. That's a really gorgeous shade as well. The metallics are so pretty in here, but Urban Decay are known for their like colorful shades. They're beautiful. And then the last shade we have is basically a typical silvery color, and this one is called Mirror. Obviously, it's going to be like a gray toned color because it's representing a mirror, but that row was really nice and pigmented. I really liked it. So that's what Mirror looks like. It's this really pretty grayish color right there. So those are all of the swatches from the palettes. And now I'm just going to go over my look that I did today. I used the shades Reflection in my crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Dorm House right here. Then I went in with Chronosphere on the outer corners. And then I went in with Paradox on the lid. Then I went in with Looking Glass and Lily on the brow bone. And then I went in with Royal Flush on the inner corners. And then I went in with Hatter on the lower lash line. Out of the shades that I used today, my favorites were Royal Flush, Hatter, and Dorm House. The other ones were a little bit harder to work with. I liked Reflection. It was really pretty on the crease. That one was nice too, actually. But the brow bone highlights were okay. They weren't really as like making the brow bone pop as much as I wanted it to. And then the Paradox shade was a little bit disappointing because it wasn't really as true to pigment when I first applied it. But I'm actually really excited to use the rest of these shades here. So that's what it looks like one more time. And I'm actually thinking I might use this for neutral looks as well because like I said, I think it's kind of a very well thought out palette. And I think that's why this might be better than like most of like those really gimmicky type of like Disney palettes or like anything that's kind of like a promotional type of thing. I just think that you could use most of these shades to create neutral looks. Like you have 1, 2, 3, even this shade, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like you have an entire row here. Like 10 shades you could use for neutral looks. So I think you have a couple of neutral looks that you could put together, and you have like 3 or 4 lid shades that you could use. So I think that was really clever on their part. And then you have those beautiful pops of color if you want to do something more fun when you go out. So I think overall it's a pretty good palette. It's a little bit hit and miss with the pigmentation, but as what I really enjoyed is that I really didn't have to go in with another palette. The only other eyeshadow that I used was Makeup Geek Speeches and Cream, but I used that as my transition shade, basically. Transition shade, I'm like, I use that as my transition shade for everything because you guys know that's my favorite transition shade of all time. So I don't know why I can't get this back in here. I wanted to keep it in here for when I haul it, but I think I'm just going to keep it like this because I can't get it back in. And also, what else was I going to say about this palette? When I used it today, I could notice that I was like fading a little bit here. Also, I didn't reapply my eyeliner because I was just too lazy. I want to just take my makeup off after this. I've been wearing it all day. But overall, I think that this is a really great palette. So that is what was in the eyeshadow palette. I really do feel like there was something else I wanted to say about this. But that is pretty much it for the eyeshadow palette. And then I'm just going to share a little bit of a bonus for you guys because I did also pick up one of the lipsticks as well. This is what the packaging looks like for the lipstick. It has like the same type of theme. And then, of course, it says the Alice shade on the top. That is the shade that I got, which is the nude shade. So I got the shade Alice. And then this is what the packaging looks like for the lipstick. It's so pretty. I was honestly so drawn to the packaging for this collection. That's why I wanted a couple of pieces from it. And also, I never picked up any of the limited edition type things from Urban Decay before for like the first Alice palette that they had, or like the Wizard of Oz palettes. I never picked those up because that's when I wasn't really into makeup too much, and now I knew I had to snag these. But this packaging is so pretty. And then this is what the shade looks like. It's this really gorgeous, like, it's not a typical matte. It's kind of like something, I feel like it's kind of like a transforming shade or something that's like meant as like an overlay, and I think it's really pretty. I don't think you're really supposed to be wearing it by itself because it's very like iridescent. So that's what it looks like. And I like that they did it like this. I thought it was going to be more of like a typical nude shade, but it kind of reflects like, it has like a green pinky kind of reflection to it, but when you swatch it like this, it kind of has like a really nice glossy type of reflection to it. And I think that they did it like that because they wanted to kind of mimic the reflectiveness of a mirror. So I thought that was really, really clever because obviously it's called Alice Through the Looking Glass. So they didn't want to do some typical type of nude that was just completely matte. So that's why I thought it was really cool. And then it just says the name on the bottom. And yeah, that is pretty much everything. And that is my thoughts on the palette. I was very torn on picking up this palette originally because I was only thinking about picking up this lipstick and that was it. I wasn't really sure if I was actually even going to get this palette. And then my best friend texted me saying I picked up the Alice palette, but Alice in Wonderland is one of her favorite Disney movies, but she's not super into makeup, and I got her very into makeup for Urban Decay. She loves she has quite a few Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes now, and she had just recently picked this up. And I was like, when I was texting her, when she told me that, I told her I picked up the lipstick, and I was like, should I get this or not? Like, I went there again to Sephora and looked at it, and I was like, should I pick it up yet? But she hadn't responded to me yet, and then like I saw her response after I bought the stuff I wanted originally in Sephora, and I was like, I kind of held off on the palette. She's like, oh, you party pooper. So I actually ended up watching a couple more reviews on the palette, and I saw Wayne Goss's review, and then I was like, you know what, that kind of sold me on it because he's like, it's very nice and pigmented. So I was like, you know what, I really want to get it. It's such a beautifully packaged palette, and I was just a sucker for the packaging, but also because I am going to display this in my room because Urban Decay is my other favorite makeup brand besides Too Faced, and I really feel like this would be so beautiful to display in my room as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm just going to try and fit this back in the box. I kind of tore the box a little bit too, which kind of sucks because this is such a big palette, so it's kind of hard to put back in the box. So yeah, that's it. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at CBW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819, and my Snapchat is PokerFace819. Please let me know if you're intending on picking up this palette at all, and what your favorite Disney movie is. I know I haven't really done in-depth reviews of actual palettes recently, but I really thought this one deserved a solid review and swatches for you guys. I really should have done that when I got the Too Faced holiday palette, but I did kind of do a full in-depth review and swatches of a lot of palettes, giving my thoughts on them like a few months ago, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that. So hopefully I will be posting more palette reviews in the future, but I do have a crap ton of pre-recorded videos, so I have a lot of material that I've been going through. But yeah, I'm really excited to use these colors. This looks so pretty on my hand. But yeah, that's it. Bye! Oh yeah, sorry, one more thing before I forget. I was wearing the Alice lipstick today over a ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip. I wore ColourPop's Dopey, and then I topped it off with this, and it gave it this really nice reflectiveness to it, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I don't know why I forgot to do this, and this is what it looks like. It gives this really nice iridescent kind of glossy type of feel to it. Because without the lipstick, it's not as glossy, so I really liked it as like an overlay. So it is really pretty on, and this is the first time I wore the lipstick because I wanted to save it to wear it for the movie, and this is the first time I wore the eyeshadow palette, so I wanted to wear both together. And yeah, that's it. Bye!